Hola, konnichiwa, bonjour, and hello to all of my lovelies. I do hope you have all been doing mighty fine since we last saw one another. I had recently produced a little piece featuring everyone's favorite little sky pup, Cinnamoroll, for fun because why not, am I right? Now allow me to drop some context for those of you who have next to no idea as to who this even is. So Cinnamoroll is a character that was originally created by, and apologies if I mispronounce this at all, Miyuki Akumura for the company Sanrio in 2001. And originally conceptualized as this angelic rabbit creature, would later become the ever-lovable sky pup living amongst his friends in a cute little cafe with a love for sweets that we all know and love today. Now, fun fact for those of you who may not already know this information, but Cinnamoroll was actually born up in the clouds as a little cloud child creature thing, and eventually found his way down to Earth where he currently lives, which has been repeatedly established in various forms of media that have come out for the character, such as the manga Fluffy Cinnamoroll, which came out in 2005 and ceased publication in 2008, that follows the various adventures of Cinnamoroll and his friends. In addition to a movie that he also got in 2007, both of which go into detail about the aforementioned fact of Cinnamoroll having been born amongst the clouds, amongst other cloud children, but being born different, and subsequently venturing beyond the world of the clouds to find some other place of belonging, thus leading him to meeting the friends and family he has now. Now, a common misconception that I've noticed amongst those who are unfamiliar with the character is that due to his abnormally large ears, he is commonly mistaken for a bunny instead of a puppy. Which, I mean, if you're completely unfamiliar with Cinnamoroll and who or what he is, then that is a completely understandable misconception to make. However, the reason why he has such big bunny-like ears is because he uses them to float and fly around like his brothers and sisters up in the clouds. So yes, they do serve a purpose of some sort. And his name was actually inspired by the shape of his tail, which looks like a big fluffy Cinnamoroll. Now, if you were to ask me for my personal opinion, Cinnamoroll is one of the absolute cutest, most lovable, and precious little babies that Sanrio has to offer. And to be fair, I am very, very far from being the only one who feels so strongly. I mean, let's put this into perspective. Sanrio does this thing where they rank their character's popularity once a year, and Cinnamoroll alone has come out on top of that ranking for over 3 years in a row now. So yeah, I'm not the only one who loves this little guy as much as I do. Now, I will say that when doing research for this video, I was actually kind of surprised by that information, simply because I was expecting one of their other characters like Hello Kitty or My Melody or some other older, more well-established character to be at the very top of the favorites list, but no, apparently it's Cinnamoroll, which, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not complaining. Now, I would like to take a moment to share my personal reasoning as to why Cinnamoroll is one of my favorite characters out of Sanrio's extensive roster. Honestly, aside from how undoubtedly precious and charming he is, I just have a lot of fond memories with this character. For example, when I was growing up, my parents would sometimes take me out to our quote-unquote local Sanrio store, and there was this one time I went and found the absolute cutest Cinnamoroll plushie that wasn't really all that out of the ordinary, honestly, aside from the fact that he was wearing a cute little pink bow tie thingamajigger. And let me tell you something, dear viewer, and that is, to little kid me, this was akin to love at first sight. Whatever it was about this particular Cinnamoroll plushie made me want it so bad. However, my biological father, who was the one who took me at the time, declined my request to get it. However, upon finding this out, my mother got royally ticked off, and so that would start an entire manhunt for this particular Cinnamoroll plushie that I absolutely had to have, because the store that we originally found it at no longer sold him. And if I remember correctly, it took a relatively hot minute for me and my mom conjointly to relocate that plush and order it online off of some random website that we found him on. And not too long after that, he was finally mine. At long last, yours truly had finally acquired the Cinnamoroll baby boy she had so desperately sought after. And if I am not mistaken, I still have that exact same stuffy. And on a separate occasion, my mother would manage to acquire almost every single volume of the aforementioned fluffy Cinnamoroll manga series that had come out, and would, respectfully, gift them to me. Now, the only volume that she did not give to me in that initial batch was the final volume, to which she would just simply end up locating and getting for me at a later date. And while I still have those copies that she originally gave me, I am hoping to one day acquire new copies, because due to unfortunate circumstances, those original copies that my mother had given me have since been through some wear and tear, to say the least. I also remember really liking the Cinnamoroll movie that I mentioned previously growing up. Granted, it was a little hard for little kid me to follow because it was exclusively in Japanese, but I still remember enjoying it nonetheless. And in all honesty, thinking about it now, I may actually want to go back and rewatch that movie again just to see if I can enjoy it even more now than I did back then. Now, I think it's about time we wrap things up for today. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and that you all have a pleasant rest of your day or evening. And until we meet again, ta-ta for now, my lovelies.